What is happening? Today, we got a completely different video for you today. And if you're watching this video, let's face it, you're probably a subscriber. With that being said, this is a very highly requested video by you guys. Welcome to the shed tour. Not much to it. Yeah, table saw, router table, workbench, awesome Michael Builds logo. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Well, if you like this video, please give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing. I'm just kidding. Much to talk about, much to see, and I've been dying to show you what's in that box. It's completely ridiculous and embarrassing, but I'm gonna show you. Oh, and before I forget, stay tuned to the end of the video. I got some really big, exciting news. I know you think you know what it is, but you don't know what it is. I'm very excited. So come along on this short, fun tour. Got some cool things to show you, some fun stories to tell. Much to see, much to see. Whether your space is in the basement, or in a garage, or in the small corner of a garage, or in a shed, even a she shed, when you get to spend time in your space, savor those moments, because this is where you get lost. This is where you get to turn a concept, a vision, into reality. This is where I do some of my best thinking. I wake up every morning excited to get in here, and whether I have a video to do or not, I am in this shed before the sun comes up. All right, here it is, the shed. Couple of specs on it. It is a 10 by 12. It's got 7-foot high ceilings. The roof is a 812 pitch. You know, it's funny, I used a picture that I found online to model this shed after, and the website that I stole it from is, well, I'll tell you what's funny about that picture at the end of the video. I wanted this thing to look as charming as possible, so I went with a Craftsman style, and that's why I did the dormer on top and some wood shingle accents. Simple yet handsome corbels. I made these little windows myself, and I had always planned on putting 3 windows here. But since the shed is so small, I ended up utilizing that whole part of the wall on the inside and just doing these, I don't know, fake shutters, I guess. And, well, the wasps, they love to build their homes, right in those slots. They love it. I knew I'd find a use for it. Another fun fact about this shed is that I built it like probably 80% of cull lumber. True story. So since I used to work at the Home Depot, I would constantly keep my eye on the cull cart. Well, the great thing about a twisted 16-footer is that you cut it in half and you got a semi-twisted 8-footer. Cut it down to 7 feet and, well, you got a pretty decent looking 7-footer. But even the hardy backer siding is culled. Even the doors and the faux windows, they were made from a damaged panel of privacy fencing. All right. Now, I wish you could smell how good it smells in the shed right now. The reason why is because, let's start the tour down here. But I store some very important things in here, like paperwork and, well, the coffee maker. And just got done making some real cheap hazelnut coffee, and oh, tastes so good. But when you have a very small area to work in, you've got to utilize the space as much as possible. So this is where a lot of things get stuffed, but you got to prioritize, and you got to put the coffee maker somewhere safe and clean. But I absolutely love this cart because not only can I roll it out when I'm cutting bigger boards on the miter saw, but then after I'm done, I can just tuck it right back in, again saving myself some more space in this small shed. This is where I hide the long levels back here, my 100-foot extension cord, my very stylish apron, dustpan. The safety keys for my power tools always go in this cup by the door at the end of the day because I have a 5-year-old son. We do projects in the shed together all the time. Then kind of my charging station for all my batteries. And during the winter, this is what keeps me nice and toasty warm, is this awesome heater by NewAir. Links down below, but speaking of NewAir, so Jasmine from NewAir sent us some more goodies. Thank you again. So they came out with this new 18-inch floor fan, and they thought I'd send it over so I could show you guys. Don't forget, link down below for a discount on stuff if you use my name. Oh my god, yeah. That feels really good. Now I've got a small air conditioning unit over here, and it's okay. It takes the edge off of the heat, but it's going to be really nice to have this in the shed to move some air around. Low setting, it's pretty quiet. Let's shut that off before my face peels off. But 18-inch floor fan by NewAir, very reasonably priced. Link down below. Again, thank you so much, Jasmine, and thank you, NewAir. Let's put it on the floor where it belongs. Jasmine, you had to know I was gonna do that. You wanted me to test the product out. I knew it would work. It's Husky approved. Okay. So, going back outside, this is kind of I'm just ashamed of pretty much this entire side of the shed in general, but very ashamed of this lean-to. I kind of constructed it very quickly. I didn't construct the floor properly, so it has now rotted out. I kind of threw those doors together with some 2x, and when I don't have room for something, this is where it goes. It gets shoved in here. I even got lazy on the latch. This is ridiculous. Look at this. It's ridiculous. It's shameful. It's ridiculous. Got a nice little hole down here where it's all rotted out. So where the rakes and shovels and chainsaw and weed whack. This is where it all goes. This is where, if you don't see it, this is where it is. Anyway, I can't believe I showed that to you. We're gonna close this forever now. Moving on to the back of the shed. Not really much to it. Just again, very embarrassing. This is where everything goes to die. Yeah. But the fun part about why I want to bring you back here, this is where my little groundhog friend likes to go in and out. We lovingly named him Jelly because he's a fat little roll, he's a little porker. Then he had little jellies. Yeah, about 3 or 4 of them. So we had Jelly, we had the little jellies, and we had his little girlfriend. Oh my god, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of them. You've got to be kidding me. He also loves to come in and out of here too. I can actually hear them while I'm doing videos sometimes. They make all sorts of racket underneath the shed. Well, this is where, how they say, where all the magic happens, right? This is what I am always working on in between videos, is this acoustic guitar. And I'm beginning to think that I am never gonna get it done, but I would not have been able to do any of this if it wasn't for Monty McKinnon's channel. Monty, thank you so much. This is a very enriching experience, and I'm loving every second of it. When I'm feeling stressed out, this is what I come do. I come and work on this guitar, and I can't wait to show you when it's done. So if you guys are at all into woodworking or into guitars or into, go check out Monty's channel. Please subscribe. Don't forget, we're gonna do that giveaway still when he hits 30,000 subscribers. But anyway, there's not much to this bench. It's some 4x4s, some 2x4s, and an MDF top. But what I love about this bench is the MDF top. It's completely sacrificial. I don't care if I put holes in it, if I get paint on it. I don't care what happens to it. It's just MDF. But it's still sophisticated enough where it has bench dog holes, and it can take whatever I throw at it. But as you can see, it's pretty much at the end of its life. it's just not flat anymore. So I'm gonna be redoing this soon. But again, that's the beauty of it. Just go grab another sheet of MDF, cut it up a couple times, glue 2 sheets together, and it's done. Kind of below the bench, this is the air compressor that I was using, this 5-gallon, but I blew that up, so now I'm using this little bitty 2-gallon air compressor. It gets the job done, I guess. Right over here, I've got a bunch of hand tools. These are the things that I'm constantly grabbing for, so I kind of have them at arm's length. I got some chisels, dovetail saws, pull saw, combination square. I'm always using that. Machinist squares. But once I put together a proper bench, this is gonna look way better. This is where I hide my scroll saw, small little jointer. Thanks, Russ. This is where I'm hiding Monty's 30,000 subscriber giveaway. So I'm kind of sick of it being there. So let's get him up to 30,000, guys. And when I build my new bench, I'm gonna have a pull-out for this planer because it's heavy. It's heavy, and I don't like taking it out of its home and putting it back in. This is my kind of my sharpening station for my chisels. And this little beauty, let me show you this little beauty here. I bought a Cricut off of a friend, and it was very important to me that it came in rose gold. But I still gotta learn how to use this thing, so it sits here until I can figure it out. More projects planned for this guy. So moving on to this wonderful corner. Well, this is where I keep my Brunch Press. Wonderful thing about having a small shed is you're constantly having to stick commonly used tools in small corners. So that's where this lives until I need it. But also, this is where I store all my cutoffs that are 2 feet and under. And any small exotic wood I have goes in this little bucket. Projects that I never finish. That kind of thing, you know. It's where I store my sandpaper and my planers. Again, this is where I store a lot of cut-off pieces that are 2 feet and under, but more like trim work and that nature. Round stock and stuff like that. As you can see, I'm utilizing more space by going up. So this is where I utilize storage for some other common power tools that I have. Like brad nailers and pin nailers and orbital sander, sawzall, Milwaukee sawzall. Hey, you get the point. Hey, remember when we got to 100,000 subscribers? We're almost up to 300,000 subscribers. Here's my toolbox, and I am slowly but surely getting everything nice and organized and looking real pretty. Getting rid of some tools. But then there's this drawer. No. This whole bench over here is all about organizing the small stuff. Random nuts and bolts and sanding stuff. Some of my guitar parts and like small guitar tools and brad nails. But this is my favorite. This used to be a complete show, and I know you still think it's a show, but I love this shoebox organization. Not only do I get to separate everything by category, like, you know, metal brackets, small hardware, gloves and masks, even my camera stuff, I can easily pull something out, use it, put it away. The only problem is that if I want something down here, I've gotta do that, open it, take it out, and then I've gotta. So, needless to say, I gotta build a cabinet for that, and we'll do a video on that, on small shed storage series kind of thing. And my machinist toolbox kind of stuck back here in the corner. Got my spindle sander, grinder, my little teeny tiny air conditioner, cabinets on top, spray paints, WD-40. I had a subscriber actually comment and say that WD-40 needs to sponsor us. You're absolutely right. Come on, WD-40, get with it. Got some other hand power tools like the router, belt sander, one of my favorite tools, my rigid circular saw. Then up top we got the power sprayer, and there's these 2 boxes. It's time to show you what's in the box. Now, this box, there's really nothing special in here. Just I got a bunch of these little Home Depot kid workshop kits that I saved up for my son. But before I show you what's in this box, are you familiar with the Johnny Cash song called One Piece at a Time? It's a song about how he worked at a Cadillac plant and he took a part a day, put it in his lunchbox from a Cadillac, and then 10 years later he was able to build a whole Cadillac, right? Well, I have a small obsession. Haven't been in this box for a long time. Let's take it down so we can look inside what's in here. Oh my God. When I was a little kid, my dad introduced me to a movie called Vanishing Point. Look it up. Not the new one from like 1996. I'm talking about the one from like 1970, 1971. There is a beautiful white beauty in there called a 1970 Dodge Challenger. And ever since then, I have been obsessed with this car. It is my dream car. I have to have this car. Well, if you know anything about old Mopars, dead or alive, they are very expensive. So, I decided that I was going to buy my 1970 Dodge Challenger part by part. So, I have a whole box of parts in here that are 1970 Dodge Challenger parts. Used ones from eBay, turn signal lever. I've got the light bulbs. I don't have the car, but I got the light bulbs. I got the keys to my 1970 Dodge Challenger that I don't even own yet. I got like steering linkage, some gaskets, lock set, got the little Chrysler emblem that goes on the side of the car. I know, it's ridiculous. I know. I don't have the left side, but I have the driver side door handle. Yeah. Oh, now I'm remembering this box. This is the best part. I got the steering wheel. I got the steering wheel to my Challenger, but not the rest of the car. I even have the owner's manual. That's just sad. This is the can to the steering wheel shaft, which I actually have the whole steering wheel column that I actually restored myself up over here in this corner over here. I'll show you. So I've got this whole steering column to a 1970 Dodge Challenger that I restored myself. New wiring harness, new buttons, new ignition, which is why I've got the keys, right? This is how bad the obsession is. Someday you will be mine. Someday. You gotta have dreams, right? Even if they're weird ones. But if you ever get the chance, look up the movie Vanishing Point from 1971. It's a horrible movie, but it's one of my favorites. It's a cult classic. And actually, Audioslave even did a music video called Show Me How to Live, which features that movie, and it's really cool. Highly recommend that video. So if you're watching this and you own a 1970 Dodge Challenger, just let me borrow the keys just once. I promise I'll bring it back. I promise. Spoiler alert. Fun fact about the explosion at the end of Vanishing Point, they didn't actually use a 1970 Dodge Challenger. They used a 69 Camaro. Fun fact. Also, you don't blow up Challengers. But then Charlie Sheen did it in a movie called Terminal Velocity. Ooh, Charlie Sheen. This right here, this is my baby. My rigid table saw. And what's special about this particular table saw, I actually had a subscriber ask about, they wanted to know more about this table saw. The special thing about this table saw is it has a granite top. And they don't make this anymore. This particular model, which is really funny, I bought a Ryobi table saw and I hated it. Couldn't stand it. Ryobi's a great product, but I hated that table saw. The TTI rep at Home Depot, he said, hey, listen, we got this table saw model that is going clearance. Why don't you return the Ryobi saw and get this thing? And I got this for like half off the regular price because the arbor was spitting out saw blades, if you can believe that. But I was assured that this model had, they replaced the arbor with a new arbor, and I haven't spit any saw blades out yet, so a lot of cool things start off on this tool right here. So, and of course, back, stuffed back behind it, this is where I keep all the panels and the sheet goods, stuff like that. It all goes along this back wall over here. Half the time I forget about what I have back here. And then up here is where I put anything that's over 2 feet. All my board stock. This is great at getting these things out of my way, up high, and utilizing that vertical storage. But I can also still plainly see everything, and I can get at it pretty easily too. So I love having this lumber rack over here. Extension ladder. Oh, and what I'm sitting on. This is another one of my babies. This is my Norm Abram New Yankee Workshop Deluxe router station. It's got everything. It's got drawers to keep my router bits in, and again, a lot of cool things get made on this tool. And next to the router station, this corner over here, this is just another spot where a lot of stuff just goes to die. When I can't figure out where else to put it, it goes in here. You got those corners too. Some awful storage for my clamps, which I gotta come up with something better for this, but I had nowhere else to put them, so that's where they went. I'm not gonna go through all the crap I got up here, but one thing that I think is notable, and there's a good story to be had right here, is this pile of wood parts. No, this isn't just scrap lumber, these are actually parts that go together. So, show of hands of how many of you out there have significant others that see something on the shelf, they want to buy it, you say, no, don't buy that. I can make it. And then you never do. That's my thing. When we found out that we were pregnant with my son, I got to work right away on making him a crib. I'm a woodworker. I wanted to make my son a crib with my own bare hands. In true Michael fashion, I didn't finish the job. My son was born and the crib was nowhere near being finished, so we had to put him somewhere. So I just bought him a crib, put it together real quick, and now I'm not quite sure what to do with this. He's 5 years old now, so yeah. Up here, that green pipe, got it on clearance one day. It's gonna be a dust collection system someday. Got my wall of Monty jigs, or acoustic guitar making jigs. I think I spend more time making jigs than I do actually making the guitar. If you ever wondered what this ridiculous Craftsman door and this window was all about, I made a display for Rapid Set years ago, and for some reason I kept the door and window thinking that I might add it to my son's jungle gym. Never happened. So, for the big news. Have I ever told you guys how my subscribers are the best subscribers in the world? Well, I had a subscriber reach out through email last week and says, "Hey Michael, my name is Matt Weaver and I'm with Weaver Barnes, an Ohio-based company that builds sheds. I've been watching your videos and have done a few concrete projects based on your videos. I noticed, however, your shed is way too small. I thought I'd reach out, maybe we can help. New bigger shed in exchange for some shoutouts every so often? Let me know." Well, I let him know. Now, I want to say that nothing is set in stone. We have a meeting set up with him, so we're gonna meet with Matt and go from there. But regardless, what a huge offer. I couldn't be more excited. Now, I really thought that I was gonna throw a wrench in things by telling Matt that this sounds great, but I would really like to keep this shed, but I need to move it to the back of the yard and place the new shed in the current workspace. Matt said no problem. So I'm floored. We don't know the details yet, but I'm gonna film whatever I can. I know that I do a lot in this small space, but since this has become my job, since this has become my career, really been feeling the small space lately. Things are getting tight in here, and I can't tell you how excited I am to get some of these tools off the floor and out of these nooks and crannies and just give them a permanent home so that I don't have to put them on the bench when I'm using them, take them off the bench when I'm not using them. If you've got a small space, you know what I'm talking about. But here's the fun part. That picture that I was telling you about in the beginning of the video that I modeled this shed after, I got that picture from Matt's website. Small freaking world. I can't wait. I'm excited. Bigger shed means bigger projects, so this is gonna be good for the channel. Matt Weaver from Weaver Barnes. Check him out. So, thank you very much for watching this video. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't subscribed yet, please think about doing so. I promise you won't regret it. And I'll see you in the next one. Keep those dreams alive, people. Someday, you will be mine.